Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Jet. Welcome back to episode of MDK Racing Victory Stop, part 2 of our double header, recapping the NASCAR Xfinity series from the Homestead-Miami Speedway. And it was a solid race, but one that didn't have much to offer, if that makes sense. I mean, typical Homestead racing for the Xfinity series package. I mean, we saw tire fall off quickly. 10 laps in already, 2 seconds off the pace. A lot of drivers going in different lanes. You could ride the bottom, the middle, and the top lane. A lot of three-wide racing. Just overall, just solid racing, but not much happened. We only had, I believe, 1 or 2 legit cautions in this race. And it was the Austin Hill and Cole Custer show. I mean, both of them, 82 laps for Austin Hill and 67 laps for Cole Custer. Both of them combined to lead all but 49 laps in this race. Those two were just on it. But one was better than the other, and that was Austin Hill. Now, Austin Hill, I did not have him at all having a shot at winning this race. Heading into the weekend, I didn't feel like that he and his teammate Jesse Love, that RCR duo, I feel like didn't have the pace, but very quickly he proved all of us wrong. One thing that Austin Hill was able to do so well was hook the bottom. I don't say it was like Harvicking, where he let off the gas very early and then just hugged that white line, but Hill was just somehow able to use that inside lane, just stay on that white line better than anyone else, and was able to just blow by drivers like they were standing still. Chandler Smith, the pole sitter, led the first 30 some odd laps before then you saw a quadruple of drivers in between Austin Hill, Eric Almirola, AJ Allmendinger, and Cole Custer, swapping leads back and forth up front for the lead. Stage 1, that second half was very fun to watch, but by the end of it, Austin Hill was just able to just hook that bottom. Like I said, blow by drivers like they were standing still, and was able to take the lead in the closing laps of the stage and would win stage 1. Stage 2, again, nothing much to talk about, all Austin Hill. But it wasn't until stage 3 where we saw Cole Custer start to emerge as seems as though to be the only driver that could contend against Austin Hill. He took the lead at lap 98 in stage number 3 and had a good lead on the field, but once again, with Austin Hill, he was able to just hug that bottom lane so well. You had Cole Custer up top trying to get the run off the top lane. Austin Hill trying to go the shorter route. But even with Hill on the shorter lane, even though the top lane is usually the faster way, Hill was able to just drive it in the bottom of the corner so deep, better than anyone else. Was able to make it stick, then come off the corner, was able to use that side draft from Cole Custer to keep him from getting away from him, and then entering the next set of corners, drive it in again, slide up in front of Cole Custer, and take the lead. It looked easy the way the 21 did it to the rest of the field. But that didn't mean Cole Custer gave it up without a fight. A caution came out on lap 122 when Josh Williams cut a tire and hit Ryan Truex in turns 1 and 2 to bring out the caution. On a restart, Cole Custer was third. Side by side on the back straightaway, he was racing against Jesse Love, drove it in turns 3 and 4, got by the 2 car, and then was able to get up side by side with the 21 car and take the lead away from Hill by force. He said, I want the lead, and I want it now. A couple of playoff drivers, though, they did have some issues. Chandler Smith on the final round of pit stops had a very long stop. The left side of his car, the jack, would not be able to get in underneath the car, so he had a tremendously slow pit stop. And then Sam Mayer, who was trying to stay out, trying to bank on a caution, or trying to just keep his car out as long as possible. He hit the wall, cut a tire down, immediately comes on the pit road, and then overshoots his pit stall, so he also had a slow stop. By the end of it all, Cole Custer was leading and actually had a really good gap because around this time, Austin Hill wasn't fading necessarily, but he just didn't have the car, I feel like, to keep up with Cole Custer. I thought, okay, maybe Cole Custer, they just saved this car for the third stage. He was able to get more juice out of his car. Maybe Austin Hill used up his stuff. But that long green flag run, which is very critical at a track like Homestead, and again, the 21 car, they had that long run speed. They kept chipping away, chipping away at the 00 car's lead. And with around 20 or so laps to go, he was on Cole Custer's bumper. Didn't take long. 11 laps to go, Austin Hill drove it on the inside. Usually he would, but this time around, when he tried to take the lead, he goes to the outside. Right on the outside of Cole Custer, was able to take away Cole Custer's line and drove by him like it was nothing. Cole Custer couldn't really put up much of a fight, and no one was able to challenge Austin Hill. Hill will go on to win at Homestead, like I said, leading 82 of the 200 lap, scoring his 10th career Xfinity Series win, his 4th win of 2024, but most importantly, advances to the Championship 4, where he will race for the title at Phoenix. Here's a look at the race results. Austin Hill wins. Cole Custer in second. Eric Almirola, my pick to win, ends up in third. Jesse Love fourth, and Sheldon Creed, the top 5. Riley Herbst and Ryan Sieg, another great run for him. Ever since Sieg went to this 28 ride, he has been performing miles better than what he was in the past. He should probably stick that for 2025. Justin Allgaier 8th, Sam Mayer 9th, and AJ Allmendinger rounds out the top 10. Barker Kligerman 11th, Connor Zilic in 12th, Chandler Smith 13th, Kyle Weatherman, nice top 15 finish for him, as well as Anthony Alfredo. Jeremy Clemens, Shane Van Gisbergen, who stayed out. He made that 70 or so lap run work till the very end, finishes in 17th, Brandon Poole 18th, Brandon Jones 19th, and Jeb Byrne the top 20. Now Sammy Smith, he had a whole bunch of problems, hit the wall, had a tire cut down. He just had an awful day. 22nd he finishes in. William Zawalich in 24th place in his Xfinity Series debut. And then you take a look at the rest of the 38 car lineup. Matt DiBenedetto had to go into the garage early due to overheating issues. And now here's a look at your playoff grid with one race to go. Martinsville is next up. The only two drivers that are safe, Austin Hill and AJ Allmendinger, they know they will be racing for a title at Phoenix. At the moment right now, the two drivers that hold the final spots is Justin Allgaier plus 35 and Cole Custer now 28 points ahead of Chandler Smith, Jesse Love minus 34, Sam Mayer minus 47. Now Sammy Smith, he is minus 95. However, the most amount of points you can gain in a race is 60. So for Sammy Smith, he's the only driver that his goal is simple. If he wants to race for a championship at Phoenix, he has to win. Everyone else can make it in on points. However, Sammy Smith must win if he wants to race for a championship at Phoenix. Overall, my thoughts on this race, like I said, it was a really good race, but nothing much happened. It was kind of like your typical Homestead race. Tire wear was very important. Strategy was important. I would say this, everything behind Austin Hill was a lot of fun to watch. Lots of side-by-side, through-eye battles all over the racetrack. If you want to focus on just the leader, then it was pretty boring because, again, Austin Hill pretty much had the field covered. Cole Custer put up an excellent fight against the 21 team, but it seemed as though, at least in my eyes, that there was nothing you could do to stop Austin Hill from winning that race. He just had an unbelievable car, and fair play to him. I mean, he drove a fantastic race, a very, very great drive. Pit crew on point. Everything about that 21 team was just on the money here today. So nothing but praise for him and his team. And I can't remember the last time. When was the last time that Austin Hill won a race that wasn't a super speedway? So you have to go to Pocono. Back last year was the last time that Austin Hill won it at a race that was not a super speedway. In fact, this is his third win at a track not named Daytona, Talladega, or Atlanta. He's won here. I mentioned Pocono and Las Vegas also back in 2023. So seeing the 21 team show up at tracks that has nothing to do with drafting is surprising to see. And I think that's why nobody had him on their radar, because usually you don't expect him to perform that well at a track like Homestead. As for the other drivers, I mean, Cole Custer, I feel like with him, he is going to be in pretty good shape. Justin Allgaier, now Justin Allgaier he was interesting because he had some moments where he hit the wall a couple times. Like, I don't know, something about this 7 team. Even though he's 35 points above the cut line, I do worry a bit about him in his position, just because in positions in the past, we look at Bristol where he had a 50 some odd point lead and lost it. I don't know, something about it. We look at the Charlotte Roval where they were in deep trouble about maybe missing the round of 8, barely made it. But again, this 7 team, I worry about them. So that 35 point cut line advantage, I don't trust that at all. But everyone else, like a Chandler Smith, Jesse Love, especially Sammy Smith, I mean, they all have to win. I can't see them making up the points outside of maybe Justin Allgaier having a mistake. But when you look at a guy like Cole Custer you're going up against with, I think it's going to be very difficult for you to beat him on points. But we'll discuss that for race day next weekend. But yeah, those are my thoughts on this race. What are your thoughts of it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Make sure you tune back here Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time for MDK Race Day for the NASCAR Cup Series as we preview their race at Homestead. But until then, my name is Jett from MDK. Thanks for watching.